Hey guys, before we get started, I gotta let you know about a couple things. First of all, tonight at 8 p.m. in Sherman Oaks at the Green Room, Matt, Rob, and I are debuting our new live show, Movie Wanna. That's right, it's a movie show with marijuana. You can smoke in the venue, and it's pretty cool. Also, we have an exclusive interview with Colin Mochrie. That's right, that Colin Mochrie, legendary improv comedian from Whose Line Is It Anyway? He's in a new movie called Villains, Inc., and I got to interview him. How cool is that? And we put it in the show. It's really fun and good. And we got William Haynes as my special co-host on the show. It's gonna be a meaty one, so get your bib ready. You might make a mess. All right, let's go.
Dynamic Banter. I can see we're gonna do it and have some fun. Dynamic Banter. Working hard and make it good. Dynamic Banter. Don't forget the history road. Dynamic Banter. Time to shut up. Start the show.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today we got my good friend Will Haynes.
It's wonderful to be here.
Will Haynes is in the house.
Life is so beautiful. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. No, I love you. I love you. All right. All right, sit down. Sit down. Stop. Okay. Thank you. All right, I have contact. Oh, you're carrying me away. Ladies, you're carrying me away. Ladies. Thank you. Ladies, who grabbed me right there? Who grabbed me right there? No, seriously, I gotta record this podcast. Ladies. How many clap sounds do you have? First off, I just want to say I love you so much, Steve. So many things that I've loved about you the entire time I've known you. We're in a sitcom right now. I recently made a video about how Steve saved my life, helped cure my depression. It's a good video.
That was a sweet video, man.
It's a good video.
Why can't I be heard? What happened?
I don't know if I included it in the video. Do people know the first thing Steve ever said to me?
Hello? Hello, am I here?
We were at a barbecue. It was before I worked at SourceFed, but it was a SourceFed barbecue. No, it was after I had been done being an intern, but before I worked there and while you were working there, Steve comes up to me and says, "Do black people like Mad Magazine?"
I did ask you that. It was an honest question.
It was an honest question. Hey, 2013 was different. And
I felt, can I tell you, at that party, I felt like Mark Wahlberg going to that porn party in Boogie Nights. I felt like, whoa, look, fucking Philip DeFranco's here. I mean, Phil's not at that one, I don't think.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
I think you were already a host at this time.
But there were people there that I didn't know very well. Like, I didn't know Bowman very well.
Yeah.
And Bowman
I
was
barely
there.
knew people, too. I knew Darren.
It was Norg's place.
Yeah. There were other interns that I didn't know because they were interns after I was interning.
It was a good opportunity to get to know people, but it was an unofficial, unsanctioned hang.
Yeah. And so the first time I saw you, though, was a SourceFed video you did about Ninja Turtles and how the movie was going to come out.
That was my first SourceFed video.
And I remember I watched it. I was like, this dude is so annoying.
I was nervous as fuck.
Let alone a year later.
Scared. I was terrified.
You took me to a screening of that. Ninja Turtles, the Michael Bay.
That I was talking about.
In that video, you took me to the screening of that. By then, we were already, best buddies.
We were thick as thieves.
Yeah.
Because of that H&M.
Yeah. I think I told that in that story in the video, but I was like, 2014 was some of the most depressing time in my life. Steve was going through his divorce, and I was 20. And we were both in H&M mall, not by coincidence, and we were both in there sad, even though I kind of enjoy going to the mall now. But at the time, we were both kind of bummed out that we had to go buy some clothes.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't something that is fun to do.
Yeah, and
it's still not fun to do.
And then it was in that mall that you told me, you were like, people don't care. Like, you were like, you could just yell right now, and people will forget. People are more interested in their own lives.
Yeah.
That the things that you do aren't as significant as you think.
Yeah, people don't care what kind of sounds you make or what you do, really, as long as you're not bothering.
Yeah, as long as you're not bothering them, and people like to harass people for videos online. Don't do that. But if you say something embarrassing about yourself, people won't remember.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
No. And unless it affects their daily life in some way.
Yeah.
Will, I wanted to welcome you back to Dynamic Banter.
It's good to be
been
here.
a minute.
Yeah.
And we're at Kevin Plachy's new apartment.
Perfect, dude.
And God bless
Perfect.
him for doing this, because my place is not the kind of place where
Your
this could
place
happen.
is terrifying.
It just needs work.
Yeah.
True work.
When I lived with you for 3 months, it was before it looks as good as it does now. I had a friend come over, a black friend of mine came to your apartment. His eyes were wide open.
Yeah.
He was like, I couldn't fall asleep in here.
Too many things watching you.
And I remember during that time you had a Halloween party and you didn't have to buy any decorations. You just cleaned up.
I just cleaned up.
You just cleaned up and everybody was like, wow, Michael Myers.
I even
and-
left some of the cobwebs.
Yeah, you left the cobwebs out.
Yeah, I mean,
It's good now, though.
I like stuff.
Yeah. You and I have similar experiences with hoarding stuff. So, like, I've thought about this. When I walk out of my room, the first thing that I see is plants. And I realized I've designed the house like that myself. And I was like, when you walk out of your room, first thing you see is an arcade machine.
Yeah, it is. Dude, I had a neighbor who, he was around for when Owen was choking on pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the neighbor who I banged on his door and was like, maybe this guy knows CPR.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy knows how to save my friend.
Yeah. I forgot about that one.
And he came by to like do a few things. He like left. He's gone. He's a bye-bye boy.
Yeah, I understand.
But he came
it's a
in.
weirdo building.
It is. Yeah. And there's a lot of fun folks
Everybody
there.
in the building
Some
at some
characters.
point was a wild
We
character.
can talk about Dogman if you want.
It's been a while since Dogman.
I think we're far enough away from Dogman.
Dogman
We can
is
talk about
probably
Dogman.
in jail. I
I don't think we've ever talked about Dogman. You know who
You don't know about
Dogman is?
Dogman?
Let's cut to a clip.
I think you actually do have a clip. I need you.
Go to random.
So I start telling her. I tell her. I'm like, wait, you some kind of.
So, so my neighbor came into my apartment, and he had never been in before. And he said, he looked at the arcade machine, and he was like, did you always have that in there?
Hell yeah, you've always had that, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like, that's always been in there?
Yeah.
He's like, I should have come in here more often.
Yeah, go to random, dude.
Go to random.
So, Dogman. So, Steve's building is a bunch of weirdos that live in this building. There's an old
It's
witch
not
lady.
as fun anymore.
It's not as
though.
fun anymore.
It used to be fun.
I see guys in Teslas in there now.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So you had
there
the-
are two serious people there now.
Yeah. So it's better than it was in the past. I'm talking about 2018, 2019. This place was a whole. And I don't even want to talk too much about your part because it's too much information. But we'll stick to what Dogman.
yeah.
It's so crazy.
Well, there was this guy that lived there, and Owen knew him because Owen lived near to where I ended up living. Owen used to live like really close.
Oh yeah,
by.
Owen lived like across the
Like
street.
literally
and a half.
across the street,
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
across the street. But so he knew some of the characters in the neighborhood already.
This man had 5 big dogs, maybe one
and
tiny
he would
one.
like walk them all at the same time, and they were like terrifying dogs.
In the grass place next to your area, to your apartment, he would just let them out there.
Yeah, he like found a hole in the fence, and he opened it up, and he threw like this disc in there, and the dogs would just like run in and fuck around in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those dogs are bringing like deer ticks back into your house.
Yeah. And you could tell his house has to be a mess because he just wasn't all there, and he's the kind of guy that would talk you to death. Like
he would always wear shirts where the collar was like all the way over here.
Yeah.
And wrinkled up into nothingness.
And then I remember we saw him at the grocery store once, and he was just talking this girl to death. And
we would see him around a lot, and every once in a while he'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" And he would always be this kind of like, he looked friendly.
Yeah. He was definitely friendly looking.
He looked friendly.
You just can't have that many dogs.
But he like had a temper.
Yeah.
And you would hear him like yelling and get mad real like quickly at anything.
At anything, yeah.
And so he was like one of those guys where it's like, be careful what you even say to this guy.
Yeah.
Because he could maybe he snaps, you know? And Owen lived in the neighborhood long enough and knew that guy had been in trouble before. Like, the cops had been called on him. He had been arrested. Like, fucking, because he was an aggressive, angry guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so all I ever knew him as was an aggressive, angry guy that looked pretty not
when you talked to him, he was pretty nice. Yeah.
And whenever he would talk to you, you just keep it very brief.
Yeah.
And this guy wanted to if I allowed it, he would have come up into my apartment and hung out.
Yeah.
And this guy would have been like, whoa, cool. And he would have been a chill hang probably.
Yeah.
But the hairpin trigger anger was like
yelling
a no-go.
A
big no-go. So that guy was never going to set foot into my fucking apartment if I could help it. And as a matter of fact, there were times when he would be like, yo, what do you got? Because me and Owen would be like walking around the neighborhood getting high and shit. And he'd be like, yo, what are you guys up to? Like, what's going on? And I'd be like, yeah, me too, man.
Nothing,
All right.
Yeah. And
Take care, brother. And I'm like, no. And he's like, what, you didn't hear what I said? And I'm like, uh-oh, this guy's going to get angry.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be peer pressured into inviting him into my home. And that was never, ever going to happen. So we had to like really tread lightly around this guy. But one fucking day, it all came to like a head. What I had heard was this motherfucker was like illegally housing those dogs.
Yeah.
You can only have like a certain amount of weight of dogs in an apartment.
Big dogs.
Yeah,
He had
5 pounds of dogs.
But a bunch of big dogs. And some people could do that.
And people were angry at it. Because the dogs were loud as fuck and they were scary.
Yeah.
And it looked like they could fucking take a jugular out easily. And that guy was probably training them to do so with all of his anger issues and shit. And so I think the neighbors were like conspiring against him.
Have to be.
Because of all the dogs and the anger issues. And everyone was just kind of afraid of him and wanted him gone, honestly.
Yeah, we're comedians and think that shit is funny to an extent.
Dude, but to me it was like funny.
You live there, though.
I know, but like even though it was like dangerous in a way, I never felt like I could be in I could die danger.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna attack
like maybe
you,
he would hit me and like whatever. Like then it's like a thing and then we'll worry about it.
Yeah.
But he never did it and you know, for the most part I felt pretty safe, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then one fucking day
the cops showed up.
The cops showed up.
Not just one cop, vans.
It was like
5 vans.
Yeah.
5 cop vans.
And it got like...
Clearly somebody was like, you have too many dogs and we're going to put each dog in a cop van of its own.
So here's what... So we're up on the balcony or something and we hear screaming, no way! No fucking way! I already did it! I swear I did it! And we're like, what the fuck is going on? And we look and it's Dog Man being like apprehended, like handcuffed,
arrested,
and freaking the fuck out.
And they probably weren't there to arrest him.
And I don't know, man. I think they were there to get the dogs
and
or
him
something.
Probably.
And he's screaming, "Help me!
For bloody life!
Help me! The cops are coming!" And I'm like, all I'm thinking in my head is, I mean, this was before all this ACAB shit. So there was a feeling to me that was like, if you get fucking 3 cop cars rolled up on you.
I think it was 4 or 5. We have videos.
And you've got cops like coming for you.
You better calm the hell
Just
down.
fucking go.
Just go. You can't beat the
I
cops.
mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get shot and dead.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
how you know he was really crazy.
And so I'm like, damn, this guy must be not okay then.
But the part that always sticks with me,
dude,
this some stuff just goes through your head at least once a month. So across the street from your apartment is a nice apartment.
Yeah, like really
nice.
The
opposite, not that yours is bad, but this is a
like,
luxury apartment.
I don't want it.
And the guy on the top floor of the luxury apartment was on his balcony because this man is making.
He was sticking his head out of his window.
And the guy in the luxury apartment, he was like, "Let him go." Let him go.
And then Dogman's like, yeah, help me. Somebody help me.
And the guy on the balcony, he's like, I was in Afghanistan.
He literally yelled, because I'm out on my balcony, and he looks over me and he's yelling, yeah, I was in Afghanistan. At us and at the cop. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want any part of this shit.
Yeah, I was like, this is
really
wild.
don't want any part of this shit.
I think it triggered something in him, but I was like, man, I'm sure you've been through it. I'm sure that you've been through some crazy shit. I know you do.
I know you do.
I know you do.
I'd have to look back through
I was going to say look at the location, but it's at your house.
No.
Dude, it was November 5th, 2018. It really was probably like November.
Yeah. Maybe I could do that, because you can look for like,
Dogman.
I feel like such an old man. Did you know that you can look in your map for when you took pictures?
I taught my dad that recently. His mind was blown.
I know.
I taught him how to make folders in his iPhone. Whoosh.
Anyway, so we'll talk. Let me see if I can find this
Dogman was wild, but the amount of adventures that we've been through, that's just one of my personal interesting ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever. We're always up to some shit.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the weirdest shit, the most bonkers shit somehow finds me. And it's like such a strange fucking world we live in.
Always with you, always walking down the street with you. It'll always be something.
What year was it you said?
2018, probably like November or December.
Pictures of me, you, and Darren on the roof.
Yeah, that's 2017, dude. How good is my memory?
Yeah, that is definitely
that's 2017. I remember every single moment in my life.
Yeah, okay, so you said November 2018.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking.
It's a gift and the curse to know dates of so much stuff. Like,
I'm kind of happy I don't remember shit.
Yeah, it's useless information.
I recently met up. One of my high school friends got married, and so some of us met up and had like a little bachelor party kind of thing. And I hadn't seen these guys in fucking as long as I had been in high school, since I was in high school essentially. So it was really bonkers to see these guys.
Yeah, that's my best friend Jose. He is the opposite of me. He remembers nobody. My best friend from middle school. We run into people all the time. They're like, Will, Jose, remember you did this? And then me and Jose will be like, I have
Absolutely
no
not.
idea.
Absolutely not.
And I'm like, Jose, that's Fabiola. We were there from 6th grade to 7th grade. We did this, and that with it. And then he just don't remember nobody. He don't remember nobody.
I was just I remember because there were a few. There was a guy there, my friend Robin, who I hadn't seen in forever. Yeah. And I was like, that's my friend Robin. I remember he looks exactly the same. Yeah. He's older, but he looks exactly the same. And, it was bonkers to see these guys. And then there was this person there who was also a friend of a friend who I guess also kind of knew my friend who was getting married. Yeah. And at the end of the night, I was saying goodbye to everybody. And I was like, well, it was nice to meet you. And she goes, you met me 20 times.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
I've had people try to pull that one on me, but I'm like, I definitely remembered you, bro.
And I'm like, all right, well, tell me where we met then, please, because my brain is absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I used to hang out with you and your friend when you guys would play music. You guys were trying to be a Tenacious D kind of band in high school. And I'm like, that's details only people who really knew me would know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't remember. Yeah. I really didn't remember this person. And she was very upset about it.
Yeah, people. I've had someone try to pull that on me too, but I'm like, I'm the type of person that remembers every detail of my life, every conversation that I've ever had. That's my type of neurodivergence, is I remember every moment. But I realized
that's not a terrible thing.
It's because I don't leave the house. Most of my memories are inside of the house.
Sure.
So everything that happened outside of the house, my ass remembers. My ass ass remembers. And yeah.
I don't know, man.
So,
I don't know. My brain
But
doesn't
it's
retain.
good if your brain knows what to throw away.
I think my brain definitely knows what to throw away.
Yeah.
And a lot of what's not getting thrown away is Fortnite.
Yeah. But something.
Wait, November what? You said?
I said 5th, but it's got to be December or November 2018.
Okay, so I'm seeing like November 29th.
This camera's getting all your phone photos, and
Please blur out anything that looks not great.
they would have to be videos.
Fuck, you were. I mean, I think it would be.
It was wasp time. So when you had that wasp situation going on,
the wasp situation.
the wasp on. You remember you had a wasp nest growing on the side of your house.
Yeah, I
It's
had to
the
have
same
that like
time.
removed.
That's also something about me is I remember other people's lives in detail.
Chris McCaleb freaking the greatest video in the world I have of Chris McCaleb of like, remember my friend Chris McCaleb, you know my
Sounds
friend
so
Chris
familiar.
McCaleb. Kevin knows Chris McCaleb.
Now I'm saying I don't remember
my friend
somebody.
Chris McCaleb. He edited on like Better Call Saul and a bunch
You now
of cool
remember,
Marvel
yes.
shows and stuff.
I was talking to him about
I have one of the greatest videos that exists.
editing on the
of-
one with the dongle.
well, remember I was having I had like a Oscar party.
Yes.
And you were there.
Yes.
So you know what I'm talking about. You remember what I'm talking about?
Wait, no, I'm thinking about the time we went to see Ready Player One.
No, this is my friend Chris McCaleb.
Yeah,
you know Chris McCaleb.
Yeah.
Chris McCaleb.
Yeah.
And we were
Everybody know
we were
him.
partying and having a great time with Chris McCaleb. And we were watching the Oscars, and I did a joke where I was like, Chris, Spider-Man won Best Picture. And he looks to me at the camera, and he's wearing like 9 hats, and he looks all fucked up, and he's like, whoa! And then it cuts to him passed the fuck out
Yes.
on my balcony, on the floor of my balcony.
He was one of the drunkest I've ever
This-
seen in person. Not in a threatening or harming way. It was just like, bro is fried.
Look.
Yes, I forgot about this.
Spider-Man just won Best Picture!
And then
I forgot about this.
and then his hand on the wall of my balcony, laying down on the cold floor.
I forgot about that.
That's that.
Yes.
So was Dogman
That was
before
that
or
time.
after that?
I would. It's around that same time.
We're
It
never
has
gonna
to be-
find it. I'll find it.
It would have been between September and November, because that's when I was there.
Okay,
But
listen
in
to me,
December,
Will.
yeah.
Listen. We have to. There has to be some structure to this because this
I
is a
hate
weird
Falzone.
episode.
I've been telling you this.
Just listen to me.
Hold
your
What
shit.
I hate
Just
about
shut up for a
Falzone. Can I
second.
please talk
Just
trash on
please
him?
give me a second. Listen, we're in just a minute. We're gonna get Colin Mochrie on the show. Exclusive interview. He's doing a movie called Villains. And by the way, Joe Beretta's in that. I
No
think.
way. Oh, I saw that on Kickstarter.
Yeah, and so our friends who were in Bring the Funny with us, JK Studios,
Yeah.
some of those fellers made this movie. And so
Yeah.
there's like a lot of cross-pollination.
Wait, is that the one with the dude from Try Guys team?
No, that was Lou Berger.
That was Lou Berger. Okay.
Also very funny guys who
Yeah.
tour around and do all sorts of funny shit still. They didn't have drama in their comedy group. Let's cut to a clip.
it was
So,
my show.
Anyway,
I would definitely cut the clip.
so
One day I'll
Colin
talk
Moncrief's
about it.
on the show,
Love
and
this
it's
guy.
dude, it's an honor.
One of the funniest dudes from the past
So
20
funny.
years.
So
almost
funny.
30. I'd say 30 years, yeah.
My girlfriend is like excited. Like she
Yeah.
was like, "Are you kidding me?"
He's cool.
She
He's cool.
loves Colin Mochrie.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then
He-
you got
he's
something
the-
wrong in the noodle.
He's the silent but deadly type.
He's very funny.
You watch him and you're like, he's been quiet this whole episode.
Yeah,
what's
what's
he
he
gonna
doing?
come
What's
up
he
with?
cooking
And then
up?
he comes out with something crazy. So he's always been one of the best.
So we're gonna do that in a minute, and then we'll do History Roads, and then we'll say goodbye. But before we do that, I wanted to say that I'm really proud of you
Thank you.
in a lot of ways. But mostly proud of you because your YouTube channel is pretty cool, man.
Thank you, man.
You're killing it over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to change my personality. I'm rebranding. I
You
think.
just started posting videos up in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna start
yeah.
pretending to be a nice person.
Okay.
See, when you said that, when you first said I'm proud of you, my original instinct was to say you better be proud of me. I'm the shit. I've always been the shit. I always will be the shit. I work so
Yeah, but
hard
that's
to
not
be
really
great every day.
you.
But I don't know, when I be off the C4 after I work out, I'd be like feeling it. But now I'm like, all right, I have to start being humble. And I'm like, so that's what.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's people really like a human being
have to be
that
nice.
can be,
You have to be nice.
relatable.
But at the same time, I'm telling people I'm not nice. Like, don't come up to me expecting me to be nice. I'm just one of those people that's eternally pissed off. Like,
yeah. So that whole thank you
thank you. You always
was
talk
genuine,
about it. So you
but
always,
that's genuine, like, because
You always
to me it always sounded like you were over it.
I think I talked about it in a video recently on my channel. I've been talking about some serious stuff on my channel, but no, like I talked about it in your video. So I mean, this might be a little dark, but like I remember dark times in 2014.
Sure.
I set a date for a year and a half.
I think it's in my calendar.
Yeah,
still.
I was like, I'm going to end my life.
What day was it?
It was crazy enough. It was like November 6th, 7th, 2016. It was accidentally my best friend's birthday in the days of the election. 2016. It was like November 6th or 7th, 2016. But I did it a year and a half before that in 2014, hanging out at your house.
No, it's not in there anymore.
Yeah, and I used to be really sad. And it was because I finally got what I wanted. I finally got on SourceFed. I finally became popular. I finally had money, and I still hated myself. Yeah. And like I said in the beginning of the video, it was for no reason. I was 20 years old. I had no reason to hate myself. And I don't know. I was just one of those people that had chemical imbalance that I was just unhappy every single day. But hanging out with you, like I said, once you taught me that it's not that serious.
Yeah.
It's like no one cares.
Yeah.
That brought that freedom to me. So when that day came, when my alarm rang, it's coincidentally at the same time that Trump had won.
And you're like, fuck it.
And I was like,
you're like, I can be a dirty, evil asshole.
I was like, I love my life. Everybody was really sad that he won. And of course, I was really sad too. But I was like, I love my life. And that's why I ran for mayor.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't be different.
You're like, any old asshole can be the president.
But yeah, I brought this up because recently I've run into some issues with people where I think what I've learned is that me being too straightforward of a person can come across as arrogance. But those people don't know that I used to be the type of person that doubted myself in every way. And now I'm the type of person who does not doubt himself. I'm like, I can do anything I put my mind to. And a lot of people don't really like that. That's an
important thing.
It's crazy. Comments on the internet,
a lot of people don't have
love
that.
it. I say the most confident shit, and my comments are like, "Will, that shit's so funny."
Yeah, but people in real life don't want it. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, it's
like,
motivating.
hey man, like I love you, I'm proud of you. I'll tell you this when I see you.
Yeah,
but every conversation is not going to be about how awesome you think you are.
Yeah. So I've hit some walls. I've hit some walls lately, and I'm like, okay, I need to learn from younger Will. I don't need to be self-deprecating to the point that every joke is about how I suck. But new Will is kind of scary to some people.
You just need to understand what is relatable to people.
I'm not relatable.
And like once you understand what is relatable to people, you can go from there.
Yeah, and I feel like it's being fake. I feel like if I tried to be relatable to folks, it would be me trying to be fake because
I think that
I'm neurodivergent as hell.
And that's
I think
the thing,
Star Trek
dude.
is real.
But that's the thing. Like there are people who are amazing artists, and they just don't deal with people. They don't deal with the public. But I'm not
actually a mean person. I think it's more people's fear that I will be mean. I will never yell at a person. I will never directly be mean to a person. But it's mainly the fear that I might. And even like people in my personal life, after the boxing thing, people are physically afraid of me. I'm like, I'm the same Will.
Yeah.
But after people saw me go out there like that, I think that a lot of people think that I'm like violent, and I'm like, yo.
Well, I mean, your social media has a lot of you punching shit.
It's anime though. I would never. Actually, I take that back. I'd be wanting to fight sometimes.
I think if I looked at your social media as just like, let me try to disconnect myself from knowing you a little bit. And then let me just take a look at your Instagram page and just look at what you got here. Okay. Well, there's a lot of like muscular dude pictures and a lot of boxing videos. Yeah. And a lot of working out stuff. Okay. Well, so I don't know. I guess I would just be like, this is someone that works out a lot. I don't do it as much anymore.
It happened about 6 months ago.
I don't get like a scary vibe though.
I don't post myself with my shirt off anymore, or I take very little videos. I realized I was like, I think people get it.
Right.
Also, people assume that I'm buff 24/7. People assume that I'm ripped now. So I'm like, people always come up to me like, oh, show me the 6-packs. I'm like, I really don't need to post anymore. Right. To show what I have.
Sure.
So now I'm like,
so you're trying to pull back from the just muscle boy, punchy guy,
anime character,
and now you're like, I'm a
that's who I am.
relatable person. I'm not just a muscular man.
Yeah,
I'm also relatable.
Yeah, actually, and though I personally feel like the same Will from ever. For instance, like you see the shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Yeah,
this is the same shirt that I used to wear in 2015.
Really?
Remember that
It
chip
is?
video of us, Katie
Where
Wayne,
you would
Katie
wear the
Wayne.
suit and stuff. You wear
This
the
is
suit
the
jacket and
same
stuff,
blue shirt from
and the
Source
tie.
Fed. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the same shirt from that Katie Wayne video where we went into the grocery store.
Yeah.
And so to me, I feel like the same me, but I understand that some people are like... And that's my trainer's fault.
Well, sure.
He's like, I tell my trainer, I'm like, you brought that dog out of me. He's like, you always had that dog in you. I'm like, no, I was so scared of you beating my ass in the locker room. Look, it wasn't about me fighting Chris Ray
we're
Gun.
talking about years of reprogramming to not be afraid of someone that's gonna beat the shit out of you.
Because you got to know, I've been making videos since 2008, since I was a little kid.
Sure.
I ended every single video saying, give peace a chance and knuckle touch. I was a John Lennon fan, not a Beatles fan. I liked the Beatles for a minute, and then I was like, John Lennon is way cooler than the Beatles. His experimental albums, till I heard about all that shit he did. And I was like, oh, I can't
This is a serious message. No more fan mail. I'm warning you with peace and love, but I have too much serious message.
He's a dick. Well, John Lennon with that, we're bigger than... Is he the one that said we're bigger than Jesus?
John Lennon said it, yeah.
He was kind of a dick. But I used to end every video with give peace a chance, a knuckle touch. Yeah, that stuff. I love Yoko. This might get me canceled, but
That's it. That's John.
I love
That's
Yoko.
John
But
with
people
Yoko's
blame
influence.
Yoko. People blame Yoko on that. And there's that clip with her with Sammy Davis Jr. Who was it? Chuck Berry.
Oh, Chuck Berry.
And
And
that-
she's screaming, and he's like, "Yikes!" He does like an eye roll that like you can feel it from time.
They have some good
from
songs.
the night it happened.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
feel
you
it from
can feel
that.
it, but
still.
that-
it's like a star in the sky.
That
that's
I'm
like
your
dying.
angel song. Yes, I'm your angel.
I don't think I know
I'll
that
give you
one.
everything.
We won't play it though because that's some ding zone.
I was a John Lennon fan in 2011. He was the man. But I'm saying during that time in my videos, I couldn't imagine me. I would never drink. I would never curse. I would never smoke. I would never fight for any reason. And to see me in the boxing stage where the announcer is saying he loves a good Chardonnay, and then you see me beating up this dude, I think the younger version of myself would be like, I think he'd be impressed, like, oh, I'm an anime character
sure,
now.
for
But
sure.
at the same time, he'd
Like,
be
that's
like,
insane.
You broke, I called it Williamism, my rules. I had a list of rules of Williamism that held me back, to tell you the truth. And once I started hanging out with you and threw out the rules,
kind of helped a little bit.
Yeah, it helped.
Well, I really do like to try to think outside of the box as much as possible and think of what is the most ridiculous way we can make this scenario funnier. And not just like how can we make it funnier, it's what's the most ridiculous way we can make this funnier.
Yeah.
And that's like always what I'm thinking all the time.
For the anime fans, like I always compare us to Naruto and Jiraiya. Jiraiya was Naruto's teacher. I learned all of my techniques from you. Like Naruto, in the anime Naruto, all of Naruto's moves are his teacher's moves. The Rasengan, the bigger Rasengan.
So it's like so I mean like your sensei.
I do all of your moves,
Comedy
but
sensei.
it sounds so different coming out of my mouth.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, you know, like I talk about my friend Blake.
Your older friend.
Was a huge influence on my comedy.
Yeah.
Not just like watching things like Mr. Show and The State and things like that.
Yeah.
But eventually then having a friend like Blake really taught me how to like come out of my shell, and but my version of it was way different than his. Yeah. And that's like how it goes. So like when I brought those skills to you in that way, it was your version of it coming out.
It just comes out
as
different,
well.
but in my head, I'm like, this is what Steve would have done in this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well, because it's really like, is this a tense moment?
Yes,
and
cut
no
the
one
tension.
knows how to get out of it.
Yes.
And everyone's like struggling to get out of a tense moment. Then like you gotta get in there.
And that is
cut
my
that
superpower.
tension.
My friend John is here over here. I always tell John he has real anime superpowers where anybody becomes his friend.
Yeah.
So many people, popular people I've introduced to John and to meet with me, like Timothy Delgado. We paid Timothy Delgado to hang out with me for a video. He met John, was like, I'm your friends, yoink.
For sure.
And the same thing has happened with so many people, like Naomi Kyle. I introduced Naomi Kyle to John and them once, and then she used them for production for years. But my anime superpower is not making friends. People who watch me online, I think they think that people like me more than people do. I'm like, I'm a menace behind the scenes. These motherfuckers hate me.
You're just like kind of a weird person.
I'm proud of it too.
But everyone I love is weird.
Yeah,
as
that's why I
fuck.
fit in with you.
Yeah, and my door is always open to the weirdos.
But my anime superpower is cutting
Except
the
for
tension.
Dogman.
You remember
Dogman's
Dogman?
not.
He was too weird. My
Okay.
anime superpower is cutting the tension. So
Yeah,
many times,
exactly.
like, my family will be upset and I'll just make a joke and everybody be like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Why are we upset? Like, and the same thing with my creator clash thing. It's like, we're all in this tense fight, but then the stuff that I said is so wild, it breaks the tension.
For sure.
And that I think that's what I bring to comedy and thing is just we can just laugh. It's
Just
not
laugh,
that
and
serious.
who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
And really, that idea of like us being in the mall and being like, you could just make any sound and no one would give a shit. Like, it kind of feels that way with anything you really want to do in your life in general. Like, nobody gives a shit what you're doing at the gym or what you look like,
And
or
I believe
any shit
the
like
rule
that.
is people will not remember what you said. They will remember how you made them feel, which is also a lesson I'm trying to learn in my life right now. I'm like, I never said anything mean to anybody, but they will remember. You don't have to say anything arrogant. You don't have to say anything mean, but they will remember how you made them feel.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
so after my speech at creator class, my dad kept bringing it up every day for 6 months. My dad,
didn't like it. He didn't like
was
that
like, you
speech.
ruined your career. And I'm like, Dad, no one remembers what I said. I see people quote me in the comments and they say that I said something else entirely. And like, or what I said to Trump.
Right. What is your biggest problem with minority?
So you remember what I said, but other people have quoted me completely off of what I said. And I'm like, and that's what I'm learning.
That's what happens.
Yeah, people do not remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel.
Nothing you say, it doesn't matter if there's a record of it. It will be misconstrued. Uh-oh, what is that
It better
ringing
not
phone?
be the mayor.
What does that mean?
I promise it's the mayor.
Oh, it's Colin Mochrie. He's calling Mochrie.
Let him in.
That means it's time to talk to Colin. So let's talk to Colin. Hey guys, I am here with legendary improv comedian, multi-hyphenate, multi-talented Colin Mochrie. I mean, dude's a legend. And here you are on Dynamic Banter. Welcome, Colin. Are we?
There you are. You froze for after multi-hyphenate, everything froze. And I thought, hey, next word.
I do love the internet. Don't you, Colin? I love.
My day, we had paper. We work.
So, Colin, you're in a movie called Villains Inc.
What? Yes. No, that's true. I actually am. So this is a movie about three henchmen of a supervillain. The supervillain gets killed. It's not a spoiler. It happens fairly soon in the movie. And so this is their attempts to either get another supervillain or maybe become supervillains themselves. There was a 2-year hiatus when the world fell apart. Remember that? It was a little.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it's still, and then we came back 2 years later, and it was like no time had passed. Like except some of the younger people look a little bit older. I gotta be honest. I'm at the plateau part where for the next 10 years, I'll probably just kind of look the same.
I like that. Don't ever change. And you look fantastic, by the way. You look exactly like you did when you were on Whose Line.
Yeah. Okay.
You really?
No, I would say in the general vicinity. Sure.
Yeah. Do you get stopped a lot and by people that are like, "Hey, do a funny thing right now"?
Yeah, I got a lot of. I first saw you when I was a fetus, and I got a lot of people going, "Well, I grew up with you," and some people who are, I think, pushing it with, "I grew up with you." It's like because. I think we grew up together, maybe.
Was there like because I mean, you hire a Colin Mochrie and you're gonna get you're expecting some good comedy, a handsome man, professionalism, but are you expected to be married to the script, or can you? I mean, I'm sure people are like, this guy's good. He's an improv comedian.
I mean, Jerry Mary. I have been drinking a little.
It's 10 a.m. somewhere.
Well, yeah. Jeremy was very open to improv, and he would throw things in. My thing is, I will always honor the script because, as someone who despises writing, I have nothing but respect for the people who actually sit down and do it. So they have their idea of what the script is, and they have ideas that they want to get across. So so that is my first job is to make that happen. I will only do it if the director or the writer says, can we, just try something, see if it's better than this. And of course, usually it is.
Yeah, of course. I mean, come on. You're talked about as just this like super down to earth, easy to work with guy. You're like, I'm not going to come in here and sling my celebrity around and be like, hey, I'm the improv guy. So you just throw the script behind your head and go like, let's go. Like, you're just like a super, like, I'm here to work.
I did love this sentence. I'm not going to throw my celebrity around. I'm an improv guy. It's like, okay, I can understand why you're not throwing your celebrity around.
So I want to bring up this quick Matt Pat thing. I'm sure you've heard about this Whose Line. Do you know who Matt Pat is?
No.
Matt Pat is a YouTuber who made a video recently about
points?
Yes, like who actually won based on the points. Even though, and I see your reaction, but I know that at the beginning of every show, Drew's like, the points don't matter. These points are nothing. But, Colin, nerds are gonna nerd. And when there's numbers out there, nerds got crunch numbers.
Yeah, he did a deep dive into this because there was someone had done this a few years ago, and I think they had Chip Eston as a win, only because he had gotten, I think, 1,000 to the power of 1,000 or something. So that set everything off. But this guy, he did a deep dive.
He did great. It's like, it's almost like a manifesto.
Just imagine what he could have done if it was something that was worth.
You have 1,318,464,087.46 points.
See, I would have stopped counting after 200. But yeah, this is going to go on for a while. And that's me. And there's other cast members. That's insane. It always, that was the thing people seem to focus on, the points. I know in the original, or when we were originally pitching it, people going, okay, but does somebody win a fridge at the end or something? The points are only there for editing purposes.
Right.
Go from that and then to the next game.
But everything's about competition and winners and losers. Everyone wants to root for, and they, maybe even place bets and things like that. Like that's a huge part of the shared experience, I think.
Yeah, betting. Yeah.
Folks, if you're listening to this, if you don't know who, if you don't know who Colin Mochrie is, it's time to know, because I really respect you, Colin. You're a legend, dude. Like people call you a legend, right? How does that feel when people call you that?
I feel legend is being thrown around. Legend and genius are thrown around far too often without.
But no, you're being modest because comedy is very powerful, as you know. This is not a hot take. The improv comedy is just so hard to do. You have to be funny off the top of your head, and that's like scary as hell, and it scares a lot of people. And I think people can't even fathom being able to do it. And when they see you do it so well, and then you prove to them it's not written, I mean, how's that not legendary? That's like a superpower.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my question to you. Do you have a being pooped on by a bird? Have you ever pooped on a bird?
Have you ever? What do you think?
Hang on, I really need to think about this one.
No, I don't think that was bird.
That's not the question. I messed up.
Oh, all right.
Do you have a I love how you're like, did I? There was that one. No, but do you have a being pooped on by a bird story?
Okay, I gotta say, of all the questions I've ever had in an interview, this is the first time I've been asked this.
Because I feel like everybody has one. Like I don't have I'll start. I don't have a personal one, but it happened while I was around, and I was in high school, and someone was eating a pudding cup, and you guessed it, bird poop landed perfectly in the pudding cup. And then there was a horrible nightmare scenario that followed, which was the kid thought that this is how you make friends and proceeded to eat the poop in the pudding cup.
I have not had I've not been pooed on my person, but I was driving somewhere, and I don't know. I think it had to be geese, because this wasn't like just splats, little splats. It was like
a war zone.
Like turds, and a flock of them. So I'm driving, and then all of a sudden, when you're not expecting, it was a sunny day, and then it's like, and the window washer fluid didn't really help.
It didn't cut it.
Oh, it just made it thicker.
Now you got a layer of poop on your windshield.
I didn't kill anyone.
That's good.
It could have gone horribly wrong, but Canadian geese, man.
I've heard they're intense. So do you want to hunt down those geese and poop on them?
No.
Oh, you're not a revenge guy.
Well, I would have revenge, but it'd be like cutting off their heads or something. So, how much?
I'm not disgusting. I wouldn't poop on them, but I'd cut off their head.
Yeah, that's what revenge is about. Making sure that they're doing it.
You put the goose head on your antenna as a warning to all the other geese.
I like it.
That might work. All right, Colin. So, Villains Inc. is in theaters now. It's in theaters. Please check your local listings to see. Call Movie Phone and see if it's playing at your theater on Movie Phone. And also, Colin and Brad live show. Anything else going on? You want to throw out some plugs there, Colin?
ColinandBradShow.com is where you can find our schedule, see if we're anywhere near you. Hiprov.com, being a hypnotist. And VillainsIncMovie.com shows you if it's the movie's playing in your city.
Thank you so much for being on the show. It's an absolute honor talking to you.
It's lovely, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and on behalf of Mike Falzone as well, who is my co-host, it is an honor to have you here. And also my girlfriend finally likes me again because I got a chance to interview you and she couldn't believe it. And so I thank you for saving my love life.
It's what I'm here for.
All right, Colin. Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to see Villains Inc. I'm so excited. Good job. Congrats. Hey, guys, wasn't that interview awesome? I mean, Colin is a great guy, and I love him. And I can't believe we're going on a date after this. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. Like, when we record this, I haven't done it yet. But I'm assuming it went well. I'm very excited. We love Colin Mochrie. Thank you for being on the show, Colin. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about, just a little bit if I had an opportunity to. Can I have a moment, Kevin? Kevin?
Dude, he's gone.
Where did he go?
I heard a toilet flush just now.
I don't know.
Perfect. Stomach in. I have moments like this inside of my head when I'm really focused.
Captain, we're flying through an asteroid field. It seems to be affecting our shields.
Interesting. Hail them.
Captain?
Yes, hail them.
Kevin, is it time to do the ads? Okay, great. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Factor.
No way.
Yeah.
You have them, dude?
Yeah. What? Yummy, yummy. And I want to eat stress-free this spring. Damn it. With Factor's delicious ready-to-eat meals, every fresh, never-frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also, discover more than 60 add-ons every week, like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. Factor is your solution for fast premium meals without the need for cooking. And guess what? Factor is celebrating Earth Day all month long. Look out for the Earth Month Eats badge on the menu for the lowest carbon footprint meals. Isn't that awesome? So head to factormeals.com/banter50. Use that code banter50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. How about that? That's code banter50 at factormeals.com/banter50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active. Thank you, Factor. How about that? That was nice. Let's get a new ad song in here. Oh, PXG. Dude, Mike has been posting photos of himself stylishly wearing these PXG digs apparel, and my goodness, does he look fancy. I don't think I've never been more attracted to him in my life. Because, you know, golfers like Mike know that PXG is on a mission to create the most high quality, high performance golf clubs in the game. And my dad plays golf.
Really?
This is like a windy down, chill kind of game. You know, people like to go out there and be out in the open air a little bit and not have to worry too much about this or that. It's kind of like getting out of the city a little too and getting into like some nature. I understand it. I feel it. So my dad loves it. Mike loves it. And doesn't it make sense that Mike wants to be in this peaceful place where he could just kind of hit some balls? So here's the deal. PXG is bringing that same passion for excellence to their new line of apparel, and I gotta say, they nailed it, because like I said, Mike looks pretty fancy in this stuff. We're talking premium materials and technology designed for peak performance. These confidence-inspiring looks invite all-day play, taking you seamlessly from the course to the office to a night on the town. That's right, this is stuff you can wear like out, and it looks real nice.
It looks good.
And it looks good. It doesn't have to be just for golf, but it could be for both. Isn't that cool? And they have something for everyone. Pants, polos, sweaters, hats, quarter zips, joggers, jackets, skirts, everything you could want. And if Mike were here, he'd be able to speak of the quality, but Mike doesn't like stuff that isn't good quality, so I'm assuming he loves it. So,
He's particular.
he is particular, for sure. Elevate your style game on and off the course with the PXG Spring Summer 2024 collection. Head over to pxg.com/banter. Use that code banter, please, at checkout to save 10% on all apparel. That's pxg.com/banter. Code banter. Save that 10% on apparel. Thank you, PXG.
Beautiful. You know what I hate about Mike? Can I talk, like, seriously? So I actually lost my phone before we came out here. I'm so mad because I had wrote down a bunch of reasons why I hated Mike that I was going to read on the podcast.
You can't do that.
Why not?
You can't hate Mike.
Why not?
Because there's nothing to hate about
That's
Mike.
what people who listen to the podcast
I don't think
listen to.
anybody knows Mike better than I do on this goddamn show. I can't think of one reason to hate Mike.
Okay, well, I'm going to just...
And hate's
from
a strong
memory,
word, by
from
the
memory.
way. So tread lightly, friend. This is my co-host and good friend you're talking about here.
First off, I remember number 3. Number 3 was his wife is too hot for him. Am I wrong? That's how you know he's funny, though. I think he knows that. He knows that. You shouldn't have pulled Zoya. He really shouldn't have pulled her. It's true. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. He knows it.
Well,
he knows it.
I haven't known them throughout their entire relationship, but what I know about Zoya is that she is a very good person.
Yeah, she is.
And, you know, Mike's got a big, good heart in there, too.
He probably does.
So I think that
I think he's different with her.
I think heart level, they are on the same with, like, heart level. But definitely Zoya is like, come on. I mean, she's the hot one.
You shouldn't be with her. She's settling
of the two
for
of them,
you.
She's the hot one.
I remember the first one. Number 1 I wrote down, he pretends like he's not white, but he's Italian.
Oh, man. You can't do this when
Italian
he's not
people
here.
aren't white.
This
Italian
is
people.
You can't do this when he's not here.
He can't defend himself, but I'm saying he's gonna listen back. I'm like, dude,
that's the wrong
you're
way
not
to do
white.
this.
You're Italian. You're Italian. Being Italian and being white is not the same thing. It's different.
I want you to say.
I would never say it to his face. I would never say it to his face. Are you kidding me? But I actually did write. I was so mad I lost my phone because I also wrote reasons I hate Kevin.
Can you think of any off the top?
I remember the ones I wrote about him. Number one.
Some of these might be
the
feasible.
reason I hate
Let's find
Kevin.
out.
Number one, knows too much about Transformers lore.
Do you know too much about the Transformers lore, you think? But this is because your girl.
It was weird. When we did that last episode, at that time I had specifically looked into Transformers lore, and I was like, he knows too much.
But
You know why I know too much?
What does she work at the ride? Yeah. She works at the ride at Universal. I was like, that was weird. Number two,
we thank her for her service.
Number two was Beanie Person.
Who's this?
You are a Beanie Person.
Like Beanie Babies?
I hate beanies. They might be comfortable to people. When I see somebody wearing a beanie, I'm like, take that shit
These
off.
are hate offenses?
Yeah.
These are hate offenses.
Yeah, these are
You
shit.
hate that
I'm
Kevin
like, he's
likes
always
beanies.
beanie. Okay, and then number three, I remember number three.
You hate...
Number three, has too many jobs.
Do you have too many jobs?
Too many jobs. I'm like, how is he over here? How is he over here? So
All right,
other
I
people
kind of
need
agree with
jobs
that
too.
one. I do agree with
Other
that.
people need work too. And I'm like, Kevin works there. He's on that show.
Listen, look, you know how hard it is to get a good job in this town.
But having
I commend the man. He's out there bound.
I would never
He's
say
out
that shit
there
to
boundering.
I would never say it to their face. I mean, but like,
Fucking ridiculous. It's pretty crazy, Will. It's crazy. You gotta wait for Mike to be here.
if me and Falzone fought, he would go down so fast.
Oh, here we go.
And so hard.
Here we go.
No one remembers.
Clip it out.
No
Clip
one
it
remembers that this is what Trump said to Biden in like 2019. They said they were gonna fight. Biden said, "You're the type of guy that we used to take behind the bleachers in high school."
I just don't want to watch my friends. I don't want to watch my friends fight each other. I don't want my friends fighting.
'Cause I don't do wrestling.
And I support LGBTQ plus. And
I don't do wrestling. That shit is fake, obviously. But like I said, those guys are going through some real pain. I was telling you guys last
you
night.
would never wrestle? You would never
I would never
do
wrestle. I don't care how you get a ladder thrown at you. That's gonna hurt.
All right.
I need Mike to get a response in for this, right?
Well, yeah,
Let
maybe
him
we,
write some
maybe we
reasons
could
he
get a
hates me.
response out of it.
There's no reason
But
he
see,
can
if
hate
you
me.
get Mike to list off reasons why he hates
He's gonna go too far.
It's gonna be hard to handle.
I opened up a huge can of worms. Don't tell him in
See,
advance.
that's the
Don't
thing.
tell him in advance.
There are certainly people that are afraid of what you are going to say, and then there are people who are zero afraid.
And
of
that's
what
the
you're
thing
gonna
about
say.
me is I'm always gonna go after challenging people. I always when I
Yeah.
see somebody strong, like the Harley thing. I was making fun of Harley
Yeah.
and Hassan. It's just I was the shortest kid in my class. I used to get bullied in elementary school, and now that I'm like no longer meek and weak, the kid that got bullied in me is like beat up the bullies, beat
Yeah.
up people bigger than you. It's like when I told you
But
earlier,
you don't have to do that.
I don't have to do it. Like I told you earlier, I stopped myself from saying I don't want to fight. I've been in several situations where I'm like, somebody's hurting you, especially if it's a woman. I'm
Right.
like, I've asked a couple of women, I'm like, if you want me to beat this guy's ass, I was like, I will. Because
Right.
there's things that happened to me in the past years ago where somebody hurt a girl that I cared about, and I wasn't there or anything, but I was like, man, I
feel bad you didn't do something.
I didn't do it.
about
I couldn't. It would have been
Yeah.
later after the fact. I would have gone to somebody else and assaulted them.
Yeah.
But I felt back that I didn't. And now in the time, I'm like, you are strong for a reason. I'm like, you should. I was like, if somebody I know is being hurt by somebody, I'm willing to whoop their ass.
Well, for
you.
sure, yeah.
If they don't got
you
a
have
gun,
to be able to physically be
If they don't got a
ready
gun-
to fight for the people
and this
you
is
love.
this is what Creator Class did to me. I was not like this before. Now I'm like, shit. I want to fuck motherfuckers.
This answers a lot of aggressive behavior
but
from people
you
who
have to be a bully
work in that industry.
You have to be a bully. You
Yeah.
have to be a bully. I don't want to beat up anybody weaker than me. It has to be somebody bigger than me and somebody who is
So you've got
a
like
hurtful
a
person.
Davy and Goliath kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Because I was the shortest kid in class, and they used to beat me up, and I'm like, oh, and I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm
but
back.
you also see that and realize what that is.
Yeah.
And can rise above that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
be like, well, I know that I'm literally just trying to compensate for the years where I was bullied, but you don't need to do like that like trying to find the satisfaction from being a bully doesn't actually like help.
I think it would feel good. I
mean, maybe it'd feel good for a second, but it's not the kind of thing that like it will help in the long term of dealing with those issues. You know? Like there are psychological ways to battle those bullies in your brain.
I think that's what I would be disappointed in myself the most from now is that I think fighting is fun. And I did not think fighting was fun when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I thought that fighting was bad. Even if it's professional boxing, I was like, hurting other people is bad. But after getting beat up by real boxers in that Mexican gym in LA, I was like, fighting.
Well, there's scary guys out there.
Yeah, I was fighting real boxers.
Those
real
are scary
boxers
guys.
were beating my ass to fight an influencer. And so every man needs to kind of get beat up at some point. It will change you, I promise you. Once you've getting beaten up and the embarrassment is gone, and I think that's also what's different between me and most people. Most people get beat up and they get their feelings hurt. I got beat up and I was like, I'm coming back better. Sure.
That's a way.
If you don't have that personality, stay out the boxing gym.
It's the same thing with like stand up too. Like you gotta bomb a lot.
There are a lot of people at stand up open mics who are dangerously close to ending their life. They are at stand up because they're like, I don't care if no one laughs. And that was the part that got me out of stand up comedy. I was like, these are some depressed people. Then I got into music and I was like, these people are even more depressed than the comedians. And they're weird.
Well, it's just creatives have issues.
I dislike musicians more than I dislike comedians. I thought I hated comedians until I started messing with musicians.
Yeah.
You guys are lame.
Rough
At least comedians know they're lame and will talk about the fact that they're lame. You music people are lame and won't admit it.
There aren't many comedians that are like heroin addicts, but some rock and rollers definitely are. Maybe they go a little harder in those ways.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time for some history roads. Did you see any in there? That sounded kind of nice. Okay. When you're waking up in the morning and you don't know what to do, then you gotta get up and go to the history road. That's right. Yeah. Get a bar brandy and drink it down. Make sure the kids are sleeping sound, and then go out to the history road.
Okay, I'm feeling it.
And if you're gay, that's okay. And if you're not, then you're hot. We're gonna scoopy doop doop and poopity poop that out. And I'm gonna blow a load down on history road. I need another cigarette.
The retention on this video just went.
Whoa!
But to tell you the truth, I've been playing both sides. Like how I'm on here, like telling you, like, get Falzone off the podcast, put me in. When I'm with Falzone, I do the opposite. I'm like, get Steve. Steve is selfish. Steve is selfish, Mike. And I act like I'm like, Mike, I love you, dude. You've changed. You taught me how to be a comedian, Mike. Lying, and shit. I'd be like, I was gonna end it all until I started hanging out with you, Mike. And then when I'm with you, I do the same thing. So when I eventually do break it up between you guys, I can still be on the show either way. You never had it like both ways. I'm playing both of you guys, but I love you though, Steve. You. I think that what issues with me and Falzone is me being jealous of his wife's situation is what's always going to be like our issue is like
you wish you had a woman like her in your life.
Yeah, and that's why I'm always going to be mad at him deep down.
I think you should work on those relatable things.
Yeah.
And then you'll find that opens
I got to go to Connecticut.
Avenues.
They're really real out there.
Go to Connecticut. Interesting.
Yeah. Right? Like if I went to Connecticut, like I might. That's the only difference between what he's got and I got.
This first history road comes from Mia Cookie. Me a cookie.
Me a cookie?
I shouldn't. Hi, boys. It's Mia, owner of the DB Discords. Oh, shit.
Nice.
I should know this person, I feel like. Mia Cookie. My old pal, Mia Cookie. Coochie.
I talk to Mia Cookie all the time.
Mia's Coochie.
That is not her name.
That's her name? Mia Coochie? Coochie?
Is it really? I've been calling her Cookie this whole time.
Mia Cookie?
Cutie.
Coochie? Coochie?
Cutie Cinderella.
Mia Coochie? Coochie? Mia Coochie? Coochie? A big bad door gonna rock it and roll on down.
If you don't read the email, oh my goodness.
It's not an email. It's a state of mind. From Mia Cookie, she says, I just want to express my gratitude for you two.
Oh,
My 24th birthday was on the 15th.
wow.
And the guy I've been dating on and off for 3 years ghosted me
Ooh.
absolutely
Ooh.
nowhere on the 14th. Wait, what? They ghosted you since the 14th?
After 3 years?
The 24th, your 24th birthday was on the 15th, and you got ghosted on the 14th. I'm sorry, I gotta do this sponsor here. Taco Bell's releasing the new guacamole patty melt. Now only at Taco Bell.
Yeah, right.
Right during the ad, right during this poor person.
I wish you had the Taco Bell ad read. Man, that'd be some good money.
I'm
But no,
sorry,
this is
that's
crazy
awful.
story. This
I'm
is crazy
sorry
story.
about that.
Getting ghosted by somebody you've been with for 3 years is absolutely
They
unacceptable.
said it's been very hard on them.
And
Yeah.
I've been going over something like this recently. I've had a couple of people going through my life like a revolving door. Like, okay, I'm going to talk to you now, and then I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And I'm going to talk to you now, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to talk to you more. And I've been
Flighty
thinking to
folks.
myself, and this isn't somebody I'm in a relationship with. These are just platonic friends. And I've been thinking about it recently. I was like, it's a little bit of a self-disrespect if you let somebody back into your life after they
wronged you or disrespected you.
And once is okay.
Unless there's a confrontation about the disrespect.
Give
and
somebody
then-
one time.
Yeah. I
And
think
give them
you're
a benefit
right.
of doubt and give them a second time.
Yeah.
But I'm on a third with somebody. And I'm like,
but conversations need to happen. Like I agree.
but there's, yeah.
But like in the defense
Yeah.
of your own
yeah.
psychological needs,
Yeah.
a conversation should
I
happen.
talked to Raina Scully about this, and she also told me, she was like, nah. She
She's
was
like, fuck you.
She was like, I've been through
I've
this
got
with
my life in
friends.
Japan.
Raina actually will talk to me about my problems. That's one thing me and Raina will do, is talk to each other about our
she's
problems.
good people.
But yeah, she said that like you don't have to X somebody out. But I'm at a point where I'm like, it is disrespectful to ghost somebody.
Oh yeah.
And
People do it all the time.
I did ghost somebody myself recently within the 6 months. But not a girlfriend. If this person is your boyfriend and they ghost you, that's
For
not okay.
3 years.
But this was a girl I was talking to, and I once again felt like she just wasn't taking me seriously. And I was just like, I'm just not gonna text you back. But she double texted me twice, and I'm like, for girls don't double text. Women do. Like
That's a mistake men make a lot.
Yeah. But I was like, damn, you must be really feeling the boy if you're gonna double text me twice, and I ghosted you twice. And but then
Well, that's when you have to be like, well, here's the reason why I ghosted you.
yeah, I'm realizing you have to pay attention to the way people
Well, you
make
just
you
have to
feel.
respect other people the
Yeah.
way you want to be respected.
Yeah. I did ghost
That's it.
somebody.
Thank you.
I did
Slap
ghost
to me.
somebody. But I felt like they weren't taking me seriously. And also one of the best feelings is getting over somebody who used to have you on that string.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They
for sure.
constantly have you on this string that I can call you whenever and you're going to answer in 2 seconds and say, I miss you so much. And I was like, I just don't want to be that person.
You got to respect yourself more.
Yeah, you're right. There needs to be a conversation that's like...
Definitely.
That's like...
That's like, you hurt me, and if you do it again,
Yeah.
we're done.
I just don't want to come
It's the
across...
same thing you do in a relationship
Yeah.
that's romantic.
I don't want to come... I'm talking about... And I have to specify this when I say that I'm learning. I'm talking about bad women. I'm talking about fine girls.
Yeah.
And I want to tell her, I'm like...
Bad women that go to jail.
Yeah, like Instagram models. I'm like, I want to tell this girl, I'm like, you kind of disrespect me when you ignore me, but I don't want to come across as like,
These
like...
are the kind of girls that have like 30 DMs.
30 dudes talking to me, and I'm like, just go talk to them. That's the type of dude I am. I'm like, if you got Drake in your DMs, go go hang out with him.
Yeah, there are more famous people in her DMs.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, but you have these people in your DMs and you're double texting me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, but I was like, maybe I should let this person in my life but at the same time, I'm like,
But yeah, it's all about self-respect
You-
and how much
yeah.
you're willing to give to someone.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna get it back from them.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about
in a similar
girlfriend,
way.
boyfriend. If this person
Just
is
friendships. Friendships is give and take
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You have to there is a participation in a friendship that
Yeah.
needs to happen.
Yeah.
And if you're there for someone and they're there for you, then that's a pretty good friend.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
But if you're just gonna stop talking to me until you feel like it again,
Well, let's call her right now and let's talk to her. But anyway, Mia says that catching up on all of our shows and stuff made her happy and helped her get through this ghosting. But also,
that's tough.
they'd like some advice and said, I know that I'm going to be okay and that he isn't worth the tears. For a little more context on what kind of guy he is, he not only ghosted me on my birthday, but he also once punched his dog. Oh, no. And I also found out that he kept nudes from a girl he dated 2 years ago. Okay, that's a whole other thing, though.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
There's a gray area there.
He sounds kind of lame.
Well, because a lot of people feel some way or another about it.
Nobody ever sends me shit though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
man,
see.
You're dating somebody and you're keeping nudes.
Well, but what if it's not keeping them intentionally? It's more like you didn't whatever you got
I'm jealous of people. I don't do phone sex or
I
anything.
have
though, so I
endless
never get there.
images
I never
of
get
women.
there.
Endless, Will.
I don't think I
every
even want it,
woman
though.
I've ever interacted with, I have endless images.
Really?
Private, just for
They
me.
always ask though. They
I'm not
always want to
talking
see
about
my shit.
This is not OnlyFans.
And this is the reason
this
why.
This is women who trust me that want me to see their great boobs.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
They
vaginas.
never send me that shit.
I'm talking hundreds.
But I think it's because
I'm jacking off.
Yeah.
And they know it.
I think it's because
And they love it.
They want to see my stuff, and I'm never sending some shit of me.
You gotta send.
And you have to send to get.
I've
So,
never sent one
I'm not
fucking
gonna
thing in my
send.
life, and I have thousands
But
of
I'm thinking
images
about it.
of
I'm
my
like,
friends' vaginas
if I leaked-
on my phone.
If I
right
leaked my
now,
shit-
you could name one person, and it would take me 3 seconds to find their vagina.
I doubt it. But I'm thinking about it. If I leaked my shit and people knew that I was packing, I'm like, my career might improve if people knew what I had going on. I shouldn't hide it, right?
No, absolutely not.
Like, if people,
Share
knew,
everything. Share everything.
We're in a different time. Like,
Ever go well though?
No secrets.
when you really got it, though, I think they'll fuck with what I got. Like,
Guys, the next sponsor here is Disney. You can ride the new Incredicoaster that has reopened. That's right, the Loop is back. And
all right, we need to give
after
her
you get off
solid
the ride,
advice.
there's cookies.
Let me give her solid
those
advice.
at Disneyland.
Let me give her solid advice real
Wait,
quick.
she's not done yet.
Oh,
I
there's
swear
more.
to God, this is
There's
the
no
longest
way there's
email
more.
we've ever read.
There's no way there's
It's
more.
really not that long. Hundreds, thousands of images, nude photos of women.
So
and
here's
men,
what she needs to do.
and men. Hold on, you don't even have the whole story. How do you know
I already hate
what
him.
kind of advice to give
He's
this
already
person?
a Falzone type of dude.
All right, hold on.
He's a beanie ass dude. He wears beanies.
It says
I
what-
know he wears beanies. I can guarantee you.
Okay, hold on. What I need help with is learning how to redirect the energy I always put into loving other people into loving myself.
She also gave her number.
I'm the person for her to talk to. Seriously. I know it's kind of messed up for me to admit this, but I don't have really individual empathy. I have worldly empathy. Like, I truthfully feel for people starving in other countries. But on an individual level, that's your problems and these are my problems. And I need to be more like her.
Well, that's a problem that's kind of common. Like,
Yeah.
people get into relationships.
Yeah.
They learn the truth about someone. They don't see the red flags. They ignore the red flags. And, look, the feeling of love or lust or affection is a very strong feeling. And at the end of the day, it's like, maybe
I
you're
want to-
ignoring those really important feelings because those love, lust feelings are overpowering them. But it's a very relatable thing to have to deal with suddenly someone falling out of love with you, or suddenly someone not wanting to be around you, or ghosting you, like you were saying. I think that the proper way to handle that is to understand that you're not alone. First of all, a lot of people have dealt with this.
People have this.
And if you feel like you're alone, I understand that, because that's a very isolating feeling. But there are a lot of people who have felt this and have felt that way and have dealt with it. And I'm sure there's people in your life you can turn to for advice and all that such other shit too. But for me, if you wanted my advice, my advice is that take the time you need to get over what hurt you about this relationship, and then if there's ways to fix yourself as a result of them, like if the light has been shined on issues that you have in relationships and it keeps happening, or maybe it was just an isolated incident in this relationship, such as, if for example, Mia saying that she wants to give the love that she gives to other people to herself, then that's something that you could work on in therapy. There are therapists that work very closely with you in figuring that out. And also, what I'm told is literally reprogramming your brain.
You have to.
By saying, like, I deserve the love I give to others. I deserve the love I give to others. I deserve the love I give to others, like over and over and over and over and over.
I never got to that point, but I'm the opposite of her. Like,
it works though.
I remember I asked my mom, I was like, Mommy, why didn't you think that I have a girlfriend? She's like, you love yourself too much. I'm like, it's true. I literally love myself.
You don't have enough love for another person.
I think I actually do have enough love for another person, but I love myself enough that I don't feel the need to be confirmed by another person that they love me. But it's to a dangerous point that I don't think most people should be at this level.
Sure.
You should want to be loved by others on an individual level. I should want to be in love and all that. But I'm just like, I like working out and shit. But my advice to her is, it's your comeback era. You need to level up yourself so much. You don't deserve that. Nobody deserves to be treated like that in any way. So now it's time to go to the gym. It's time to level up yourself.
Oh yeah, you could certainly do that.
He's going to regret leaving you behind. It's time to do everything to self-improve. You need to start giving yourself the love.
But also, don't do it for that regret
Don't do it for
that
him.
they'll be feeling for letting you go if you get your shit together
Don't
at the
do
gym.
anything out of spite.
Like, just do it for you. And honestly, motivating yourself for some sort of revenge is never good. It
doing
never
things out of
ends
spite
well.
is not good. Doing things out of spite will never bring you the happiness, but do it because you want to love yourself more. And that's where I am with myself. I am so obsessed with my own self-improvement that it stops me from having certain types of relationships. So I take it a bit too far. But yeah, give yourself that love. You're 24.
You gotta give
yourself 3 years.
You gotta give it.
Give yourself 3 years of
give
giving
it.
yourself that love. And in 3 years from now, I guarantee you will be better and you will have somebody who loves you even more than you love yourself. I mean, I can't speak from experience, but
you gotta give it.
You gotta give it. It's perfect.
And Mia says, I love you guys. Shout out to both of the Joshes I know that also listen to DB. And if you haven't joined the Discords, listeners, please do. We'd love to have you. There is a Discord that I hear is quite the hang. In fact, I think I've been known to pop in and type out Fortnite and then never come back. One more? Or this episode cooked. This episode's done. We gotta serve it. Let's serve this thing. Guys, I want to thank Will Haynes.
It's great.
One of my oldest, bestest friends. You weird motherfucker. I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. Check out Will's YouTube channel. He's really killing it over there, making some really fun stuff. I don't approve of all of it, but I am proud of what he's doing. And I like to just see you making stuff, man. I like when you make stuff. You're a creative, good artist.
Thanks.
And I don't want you to lose sight of that artistic creativity that makes you unique.
Thanks.
Will.
I got to create something.
You got to, and it's wonderful. I love it. Go check it out. And I want to thank Colin Mochrie.
He's so great.
For being on the show today. How cool is that? Mike's a loser for missing this one.
He missed a lot.
Just kidding. He was on the bill with some of our biggest comedy heroes at the Just for Laughs. Was it Just for Laughs? What was it? Comedy Summit? Giggle Fest?
Wow, John Mulaney
Mike's
was on there? Wow, that's crazy. Kevin Hart was on there?
I don't
with
care
him?
about John Mulaney. I care way more about David Wayne and Michael Ian Black. Those are my John Mulaney's. My generation's John Mulaney. Anyway, guys, Colin Mochrie, another great comedian.
But one thing I hate about Falzone... I'm just kidding.
And who else do we need to thank? Oh, check out, please, if you have time and you live in Los Angeles, check out Movie Wanna at the Green Room in Sherman Oaks. Matt, Rob, and myself, and special guest Jackie Skinner.
Nice.
Very funny comedian, clown, artist, doing really fun stuff in the clown comedy scene. Did you know?
I met her last
There's
night.
a clown comedy scene. It's really
The
cool.
whole night I kept wanting to ask her, what do you think about
You
people who are
should've.
scared of clowns? I kept
But
wanting to
this
ask
isn't
her.
that kind of clown. This is different.
She's
This
not
isn't
wearing facial
No.
makeup
This is
and
not that
red
kind.
lips?
It's clown in the sense that it utilizes the same techniques that clowns do.
Okay.
But it's like new comedy
Slapstick
with clown.
and
Yeah,
a little
exactly,
silent.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
But she's great and funny, and if you want to see how great and funny she is, please come to our show,
She was very
Movie
nice.
Wanna, at 8 p.m. at the Green Room in Sherman Oaks tonight. And if you miss it, you're dumb.
Honestly, I'm not going to be there, but still.
Kevin will be there. We're going to have a lot of friends there, so maybe if you want to come see some friends, you might want to check it out. And also check out MikeFalzone.com and check out where he's going and what he's up to. Jet setting out there on the East Coast.
Love
Check
him.
out his socials, and he has posts from what he's up to. If you're in his neck of the woods while he's performing, check him out because he's a very funny guy, and I don't have to tell you that.
It's true. It honestly is true.
And I also just...
That was a HeadGum podcast.